name is Tony Matar. I'm a church planter in the city of Seattle. Planted a church called Venture Seattle.
This is Dr. Brandon Beals. My wife and I are the founding and lead pastors at Venture Church in the Seattle area, and you are listening to Pastors Unfiltered.
We're having all night revival.
You are listening to Pastors Unfiltered. I am your co-host today, Pastor Tony Matar, joined by my lovely co-host, David Diaz.
David Chad Diaz is
David-
back on the pod.
David
I want to
Chad
clarify
is here.
a lot. I have a lot to clarify this week.
Clarify,
because
baby.
apparently I was on blast last week. Actually,
Okay.
not apparently. I listened.
Okay.
First of all, I get more than 10 listeners when I'm on the pod.
Okay.
Thing number one.
Okay.
Thing number two, I had never left a towel in PB's shower. In fact, I may or may not have showered today in there.
What's the towel hanging right now?
I think
Whose
that's
towel is that?
Dr. Brandon Lee Beals's.
I don't think he's ever used that shower.
Then it's Elijah's.
Okay.
It's
Continue.
from YouthCon.
Okay. 3 years ago. Continue.
And also, yes, I make comments about parking spots. But in my defense, sometimes the shuttle isn't running,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to come back in the cold or come back when it's raining, and it throws off my vocal cords.
That's so hard, dude. I'm so sorry.
It is. Thank you. I appreciate
I'm sorry.
I
I really feel for you. Hey, John, welcome to the pod, man. We're so glad you're with us. John Plotner is here, everyone.
That was
welcome.
the longest 3 minutes right there.
Welcome back. JP is in the hizzy. How are you, man?
I am well. How are you?
Good. Good to have you.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. We're going to dive into that. Pastor Brandon is gone on his prayer retreat in Montana. He
Riding horses.
He had a quote he put on his Instagram the other day. Did you guys
What was
see
that?
this?
I didn't see it.
You could take the boy out of Montana, but you can't take the Montana out of the boy. Didn't he live
is
there for like
he's a
literally?
Montana man.
How long did he live there? Judah, you're
Born
his
and
son.
raised.
How long? When did he move
2
here?
minutes.
2 minutes.
This is news to Judah.
2 minutes. I didn't even
Judah's
know
saying yes.
he was a Montana guy till like 2 years
What is it,
ago.
a Montanan? Is that what you call them? Montana?
He's a Monty.
And he's riding horses.
He and Di, seeing them riding those horses was so cool.
Okay. PB,
It was
he looked
cute.
okay. But Di on the horse, I mean, she looked like a cowgirl.
She looks like she looks like she knows what she's doing. Though.
She does. She looks like she should be on an episode of Yellowstone.
Brandon,
She
look-
was cowgirl cool.
What Brandon didn't show in the photo is the guide holding the horse with a rope 2 feet away.
Here's what I was trying to figure out. It didn't look like, what do you sit on the horse? Like
On the saddle.
saddle?
Did you see how like Di
I
was
think
riding? Did you see like
That,
she was
that
just like
looked like she knew what she was doing.
knew what she was doing?
I'm pretty sure PB didn't have a saddle.
I can guarantee you PB probably got off that horse, started sneezing. My allergies
my
died.
allergies are so
I
bad.
need my Benadryl died. I need a 10-foot
I need to go get my shot.
chainsaw Sasquatch. Anyways, hey, John, welcome to the pod. We're glad to have you today. It's the middle of summertime here. John and I just spent all weekend at the Palouse campus in Moscow, Idaho.
Oh,
Moscow,
Idaho.
beautiful
Moscow.
place, by the way.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful place.
The drive between here and there, like
Was-
none other.
It was good
Wheat
company.
fields.
Good company.
Mountains.
What's the difference between Moscow and the Palouse?
Moscow is on the Palouse. The Palouse is the region. Moscow is the town. The Palouse is the region.
I just find it so confusing. So it's our Moscow campus, not our Palouse campus.
Well, it's Palouse because it pulls from Pullman, and Pullman is
I
6
get it now.
miles
I
away.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we the Snohomish County campus?
We could be.
And you're King County.
I'm King County.
Come on.
Uh-huh. So anyways,
Uh.
there it is, bro. Hey, a couple things, John, I wanted to chat through. David is here today. We had a great trip.
And then there's
What was hard about it?
there's
What was hard
Alaska
about your travel?
Alaska Airline.
Oh, I love Alaska. I fly Alaska.
Alaska.
We all fly Alaska.
Alaska.
We love Alaska.
Everybody say your status on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Gold.
Elite. But I'm gonna get gold this year.
Come on.
I had
Come on.
gold. I lost it. I
PB's,
don't
PB's
fly
a
anymore.
million miler.
Almost. I am elite. Does that mean anything?
Now, mind you,
everybody-
Tony actually got first class back from Moscow. Thank you to
Aaron Falk.
for giving up his first
So
class
we
seat
need
for
to
you.
tell you what happened to us, bro.
Okay, we need to tell this.
So we get on the plane to go home, and it's 8 p.m. and we're
It's 7 p.m.
7 p.m. and
Is there
It's
a time
important.
difference? Was it confusing?
No,
because
it
of the
was
time
important.
difference?
There's
No.
a big difference between what happens at 7 p.m. and
so
8 p.m.
we're sitting on the
Okay.
plane, and 45 minutes go by, and we haven't left. We're like, okay, and
Like you're in your seat, buckled,
in our
like on
seat,
the
buckled,
runway.
and the door is wide open.
in first class, though.
we were in first class. Aaron was in 15B
So why did Aaron move to 15B?
because I was in 15B.
Because
But why did you give it up?
He's kinder than I am because I stayed in my first class seat, but
'Cause
Aaron
he has
gave his up.
compassion for pastors.
I'm just
and
trying to
John
figure out
doesn't.
why Aaron would do that for you.
Because Aaron likes me.
Okay.
Coached his
Okay.
kid's soccer team one
He
time.
understands the anointed man of God, and
Thank you.
Ouch.
And
Okay.
anyways, bro, so and
I
then
don't
so
have
people
the
are now
anointing.
they have connections in SeaTac, and they're because we've taken forever. We had a gal get off the plane. So because she got
minor.
off the plane, a minor got off the plane. They had to grab her bag, which meant the weight distribution was all jacked up.
because of one person in one
One
bag.
person got off the plane. So then we sat there for
Was it a
another.
full? Was it almost an empty flight? It wasn't a full
No,
flight.
half.
Half full. Yeah, that's a weight restricted flight. So it's where you can't move. You can't switch
Okay,
seats.
but then she got off the plane, and then we had to sit on the plane for another hour because she
Finding
got off
her
the
bag.
plane.
oh,
Because she got off the plane. So by the time we could have taken off, it's 8 p.m. and now they have grounded all Alaska Airlines
I
flights.
saw it.
All
Alaska
of them.
Airlines sent out a
We
notification.
would have been in the air.
So I texted John and I was like, I texted both of you.
You did.
Said, how you guys doing? So where'd you have to stay in Moscow?
Well,
or no, this
well-
would have been Pullman.
Pullman. But
Pullman.
here's the
it's 10
issue.
o'clock. No rental cars at 10 o'clock in Pullman.
Nothing's open.
No rental cars?
No Ubers.
No Ubers?
No Lyft.
No food.
Wait, you don't even want to take an Uber because you might get assaulted.
Doesn't matter. There's nothing. I would have been assaulted.
I
didn't
tried.
care.
There was no one coming.
Nothing.
There was no one coming for
Nothing.
me.
And Pullman sucks.
It's Christian, David.
That
I said sucks one time on a Sunday morning at
yeah,
Venture,
someone called you perverse.
and someone emailed Brandon and I on sabbatical
that you were perverse.
that I was perverse.
I know
So
that.
just watch what you say.
I was not saying it to be weird.
All right, moving right along.
Anywho, so we get the last 3 rooms at the Marriott. The last.
Hold on, you
3
guys had to get
okay,
3
okay,
separate
all right,
rooms?
All right.
Yeah,
I'm just seeing dollar signs.
they were comped.
Alaska paid for
Oh,
those.
Alaska
but
did.
he's exaggerating. They were not the last 3 rooms. And I mean, there's not that many
Aaron's
people.
was the last one. The front desk gal told me he has
There's
the
not
last
that
room.
many people in Pullman staying over.
Anyways, bro. So I'm just gonna air a frustration, and then we're gonna dive into today's content. So while we were there, Brandon got
No.
there.
How did we get there?
We flew.
No. How
Oh.
do we get from the airport to the hotel?
Dude, I
you forgot the
called
most
a
important.
taxi. It was
most important part.
college cabs with a Z.
College
And the guy,
cabs
I
with
called
the
the guy. He
Z?
goes, "Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?" Talking like we'd been friends for 30 years. He goes,
Like the guy that I was FaceTiming,
"Which guy?"
the guy that I was selling something to.
Oh
Remember that?
yeah, the Rick Ross guy. Anyway, this guy goes, "Where you at?" I go, "I'm in the Pullman airport, and I need a ride to Marriott." He goes, "How many with you?" 3. I'll be there in 10. Like very, very
Just chill,
low
nonchalant,
key,
like-
chill. Yeah. Pulls up, and he comes in a yellow Prius, and I hear screaming in
stickers
his car
all over
with
it.
stickers, and I hear screaming in his car.
What?
He
Screaming
opens the
and
door,
yelling.
gets out, leaves the door wide open, walks away.
Walks away to go pick up other fares, and we're like, "What the heck?"
Walks away to pick up other fare? What do you mean?
Trying to get some business on the curb
business.
from other people that were trying to get
The
somewhere.
pilots were standing on the curb. I don't know how they
Like, hey, I'll be back for you in 2 minutes.
Yeah. But that-
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we hear screaming in the car, and it
Who was
turns out
screaming?
it was the song.
well,
What song was it?
Tony thought it was a movie. What movie you watching
I was like,
right
"Were you
now?
watching a movie?" He was listening to Muse. He said Muse is the greatest band in the world, the
Dude,
biggest band in the world, and he acted like I was the idiot for asking. He goes, "Muse is the biggest band in the world." Okay, sorry.
I've had some terrible luck with Ubers, cabs from being assaulted. I was assaulted by 2 women once.
David, I would not be repeating that on the podcast.
Wait, why?
Anyways,
Is that-
so moving
I
forward.
didn't get to finish what I was saying.
Well,
Why are
okay.
you cutting me off?
I'm not cutting you off. I just didn't know if we're allowed to share
Okay,
that story.
I guess I won't share. I did want to just say one thing before we like dive into actual content, because I feel like since PB's not here to do this, I got to do it. So like every so often there's like a comment about Vinny. So can I read to you the last text message I got from Vinny? that cool?
Sure.
She said this at 1:55
Does everybody know who Vinny is?
today. Vinny Diaz.
Yeah.
My
For our
sister.
listeners. Okay, for your listeners.
PB and Di's old roommate. I'm going to John's. Stealing some Diet Pepsis, LOL.
Yeah. My last text from Vinny
Did she ask for permission?
said, hey, question for you. I have an hour-long break before I go back to work and then drive to camp. Could I hang out at your place for an hour and just decompress? She did not mention the Diet Pepsis, but...
We'll send her the bill. And then you want to know what I said? Can you grab one for me, please?
See, I've raised up disciples. Two Diet Pepsi drinkers right there.
So there you go. Don't give Vinny a key to your house. Content.
All right. Moving right along.
No, I just. Okay. To put a period on all that, Alaska Airlines disappointed me. They let me down.
What have they done for you?
Well, they comped my hotel room and they gave me a flight credit.
Yeah, me too.
How much was that?
How much
And
did you
worth?
get?
Huh?
How much did you get?
I only got $150.
That's what I got too.
Yeah.
I
And
got to
then
turn in my receipts.
I got to turn in the receipts.
Yeah.
And then I got a $12 meal voucher, but it expired last night.
You get one or two?
Two.
I got two. Went
Did
to
you use
Dozone
yours?
yesterday and took my work buddies, and we went to Dozone and used my Alaska vouchers.
Wow. You paid for everybody?
No.
Paid for the tax?
So the whole time we were there, Brandon gets into town early and he buys a bench,
Oh, the bench.
a wood bench. And
bench.
he,
How many
the en-
texts did we get about the bench?
bro, the entire weekend, he's like, hey, can you get the wood bench back to Mill Creek for me? Because he's driving to Wyoming from there.
we are getting off the plane,
Dude,
because our
literally.
flight got canceled. He goes, "Oh, can you now go get the bench?"
He finds out our flight's canceled.
Are you
Does that mean you
serious?
can go get
Yes.
the bench for me?
Yes.
Oh, that's
No,
ruthless.
dude. We're not getting your bench.
Did you guys bring the bench back?
No.
No.
Why?
Now, on fairness.
That is your pastor.
We were in a-
fairness.
He's your pastor.
Oh, so I go
right.
grab a bench for him?
You were already coming back.
It
not
really
doing
wasn't. Let's
that.
be honest. It really wasn't us. It was Aaron.
No, but I wouldn't have it. Even if we could, I
I'm sure if it
wouldn't.
was
On
up to
principle,
Aaron,
I
would
Aaron
have.
would have brought it back.
On principle, I wouldn't because of how he asked so many times. He was incessant. I said no.
I would do anything for my pastor, Pastor Brandon. I
That's
honor
not
you.
going to
I
get
love
you a raise.
But this bench is really important because it's for his office and it's the Western bench.
Is this going to be your new podcasting chair for the new
know.
podcasting studio?
But it was.
I had an
nonstop.
idea for the new podcasting chairs. You could buy seats from an airplane.
Yeah,
you can
I'm
actually, yeah.
uncomfortable for 6 hours on a plane. Why would I want to be uncomfortable filming this?
Well, what about like a first class seat?
I don't sit first class, and I didn't even get to. I had to walk off the plane. Listen,
You could call the podcast
listen.
first class
to put a period on
Tony
this.
and Brandon.
He texted us at 8:30 in the morning, the second we hit the road. So no on the bench? Question mark.
We didn't answer.
We didn't even respond.
Wow, that's.
I'm
you
not
wanna know why
grabbing
he
your
texted you
bench.
at 8:30 on the dot? Beginning of your workday.
Let's dive into today's content. We brought John here. John is a leadership coach. John coaches individuals. John, what's the name of the group you're a part of?
Foresight Group.
Foresight.
Foresight. And
The number 4, sight.
And then what do you guys do?
What do we do?
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't expecting that question. Culture coaching, individual executive leadership coaching, but helping organizations develop their culture, develop their leaders, and make, if leaders are better, everyone's better.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we want to unpack a controversy that happened recently
Yeah.
in America. Everyone and their mother is talking about this. So I feel like we got to capitalize on it now, and we're going to move forward. John and I were having a lot of talks in the car the other day. We were together for quite some time. And we talked about how, as a leader and also as a follower of Jesus, anything we try to hide or mask, there comes a point where you can't keep up with it anymore. Like you could shove it down and stuff it and put it in a closet, whatever you want, for years on end. You can go decades if you want to. But at some point, it's going to have to be revealed. When we're talking about the Coldplay concert, should we give our listeners context, or do you think all of them know?
Context? I'll give them
Context. Like does Barb Beals?
I used to rule the world. There's your context.
Oh, we're going to put the camera up there.
But it was the Jumbotron that...
It was
The Jumbotron.
The
So
Jumbotron
Coldplay
has
concert.
gone me so many times.
Coldplay concert, thousands
Not
of people.
like this guy.
And they put the Jumbotron. I've been to that concert, by the way. Same set and everything. I went to it when they were here in Seattle, and they put the Jumbotron on people, and people respond how they desire. And there was a gentleman with his arms wrapped around a woman.
Like this.
For those watching on YouTube.
Can you
Wrapped
see
around
this?
a
Can we go
woman.
make sure that this is seen? Because I'll give you the example.
Is the camera on David?
And that's pretty good. So he's wrapped. He's like,
And they say,
laughing.
now look at that lovely couple.
And he goes like this.
And he hides. He
And
ducks.
she turns her back.
And she turns her back and
He
grabs
ducked.
her face. He ducked.
And waved, though. He didn't
And
wave.
wave. Yeah.
And she goes around this other lady, and this other lady's like trying to figure out what's going on. And what did the guy yell?
You go, there must be an affair or something. Or the hiding
They must
something.
be really shy, or it's an affair.
He wasn't wrong.
He was not wrong.
And they were in an affair. CEO with his HR director lost his job.
Mm-hmm.
Probably lost his marriage.
Yeah.
She was married too. Kids, wife, all the above.
Mm-hmm.
And for her, husband, kids, all the above. And then someone did the breakdown on X the other day of how much money he would have made, how much he had to give up in stocks and everything. So long story short, now before people get all judgmental, why are you pointing out his sin? I'm just saying.
Not the point of
It's not
the conversation
not-
I want to
yeah.
have around that,
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not pointing fingers. That's not the conversation today. Which is why we brought John on. This is a leadership issue. This is he couldn't lead himself. John, what are your thoughts on it?
I think you're right. You mentioned foresight. My mentor, Jenny Catron, shout out Jenny if you're listening, says you have to lead yourself well so you can lead others better. And if we don't lead ourselves well, we can't lead anyone else. The thing about this whole thing that for me, and this is like a second reminder, because we've heard a lot of the controversies in the church space where a megachurch pastor has a scandal, and there's been several of those over the years, one within the last year or so. And I was actually asking another executive pastor at a large church in Southern California. I was saying, like, hey, this major scandal just happened with this pastor and, moral failure, et cetera. What are the conversations like inside your church about this? And my hope was the answer would be something like, yeah, we're really looking internal, like, what do we do to make sure that doesn't happen? But instead, it was something like, well, he was on TV and radio, and we're trying to take his spots. I'm like, I think we keep missing this every time another one of these stories. And now we actually have a very public one in the corporate space as well, not just the church. Why are we, it's really easy to point our fingers at them and what they did wrong. And I think opportunity after opportunity has come before us to basically say, how do we make sure that isn't us? I had one of my pastors at one point said, like, we're all one step away from being that person. And so how do we, like, what are the things we do as an organization? What are the things we do as a leader to make sure you're not the guy at Coldplay? And we all say, oh, well, that's not going to be like, I'm sure this guy never expected this would be what happened.
Yeah,
He never intended.
But he also didn't wake up and decide to
Exactly.
screw up. So it was a series of decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like you said, like 20 years ago, was we expect to be in this situation? I don't think anyone plans to be there. And then suddenly you find yourself in this situation like, why aren't we asking the questions so that we get ahead of some of these things and say, how do we make sure those things don't happen?
So a handful of years ago, we had some really challenging things here at the church, some challenging leaders who stuff got revealed about them. And I'll never forget when Guy sat us all down, all the pastors, and said, hey, this is not to point fingers, but if there's anyone in the room, there's something going on in your life right now, this is the time to share it. Not that you're just going to get fired, but we want to know. We want to, if there's something, let us help you. Let us walk through this with you. It was very, like coming alongside us to serve with or help us. And
She's a saying. She says, God's willing to work with just about anyone through anything as long as you're willing to own your crap.
you can't own it. You can't work with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been reflecting on this, and I feel, in all sincerity, I have compassion because I love Jesus, but I feel for this guy because it's like, it's not just like it was at a Coldplay concert, but like everyone is mocking him. There's trends now, and people are doing it at sporting events, and it's at games, it's at matches, it's on social media. It's like
There's the Phillies mascot.
which was
now
it's like
pretty
a
funny,
trend
actually.
to take a photo with like your dude or like your homie and do that and recreate it. So like, It's everywhere. So I feel for him as a human. Like, that sucks. That sucks. And you don't want that to, like, regardless of the person, you feel for that human because you wouldn't want to go through that. But I think there's something to be said about if you can't own it, how can you grow? I think at some point the mask had to come off. And at some point it's going to get revealed. And I think the challenging part is we're really prideful. We're really prideful people. We just don't like people to see us as insecure.
I think it's hard to be vulnerable. I think it comes back to the root of, it probably starts with pride.
Pride comes before the fall. Yeah. What are your thoughts, John?
Wow. I think part of it too is I think the last thing we want to do is be vulnerable in those situations, but we have to have people in our lives that know the best and the worst of us. And if we don't have those people, it's like it's very easy. If we don't establish those kind of rhythms and those kind of relationships, it's very easy. The further you get into it, like it's hard to then suddenly like when Dai's sharing that, it's like it's hard to like you've been dealing with years and never exposed it. But it just has to go back to like we have to have these relationships where we can have trusted people in our lives that we're willing to share whatever. And I don't think that's easy today. I think it's harder and harder to have those. We see this kind of disconnect where people are missing connection along. We have all this connection with social media and we feel less connected than we ever have. And I think that's some of the root of it is as we become more and more less connected, it's hard to, let our guard down.
Yeah, totally. I think the further you go in your career, the further you go in leadership, whether it's the church realm, the corporate world, you start having kids, it just gets harder.
Yeah.
Who are those people for you guys? Who are those trusted people? Because it's interesting, John. You have previous career experience in ministry, so you've been in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are a director at your company, working in the corporate environment. You're also a foresight coach. Tony, you're the campus pastor at one of our campuses. I'm in pastoral leadership here at our Mill Creek campus. So we're all leaders around this table. Who is that person or who are those people for you guys?
Before I answer that, I think particularly for people in ministry, it's difficult, and I would say the enemy wants to make us believe that it's difficult. And part of it is, and we talked about this weekend, is relationships in the church is different than the corporate world because our relationships, they're all our friends. Like David, you have people that are your friends that are also, you're their pastor, you're their boss. And so these relationships are multifaceted. In the corporate world, it's a lot easier because for the most part, I have friends, but for the most part, the primary role is boss.
Yeah.
But in the church, those relationships get really cloudy. And then if you're a pastor, it's like, how do I share with that person? Like, who are my people? Because I have these people that I'm actually their pastor. I can't go to, you have to be very careful about who you're willing to talk to. And I think it's harder the older you get as well, because my dad would be one of those people that I could reach out to. My dad's not here anymore. And it gets a little bit more difficult as you go along. I have not answered your question yet, but I think that's important to keep in mind is like ministry, and I think the enemy wants us to believe that we're like this isolated and there isn't a way for us to be able to share. But as pastors, it is more difficult for sure.
Totally. Pastor Brandon has said it this way. He said it in front of our church. The church that I have friends here, but I also have to be able to be your pastor. And I think that in an environment where our lives, my friends are all here, my family's here, my friends also collaborate with me as coworkers. Some of those friends are also org chart underneath me, So it definitely is challenging. And there's so many different layers to it.
Yeah. For me, it's back to your question. For me, it's previous ministry leaders that I was in ministry with before that I'm not anymore. Part of that is because we understand some of the things, the experiences that we've gone through, and they're also have been pastors in my life at various times. So back in Colorado, I have folks that are those people for me.
Yeah.
And it's harder, for me, it's been harder when you relocate because you're reestablishing relationships from the ground up. So for me, in that transition season, a lot of times it would be people back in Colorado that I had relationship with.
Yeah, really good.
I think the root of it, David, is a good question because Proverbs 11:14, for lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. I think at the root of this is not just a leadership issue. This is a lack of wisdom issue. If you really think about our problems in life, I would almost argue, and I really don't like making general broad statements, most of our arguments and issues have to do with a lack of wisdom. Someone lacked wisdom, whether it was done to you or you did it. I don't know. If I'm lacking wisdom, I'm going to do dumb stuff. What do you think, John? I think it's a lack of wisdom. There's just things like John's right. Like, we're in ministry. There's just things I'm not going to do because it would be a lack of wisdom. It's a lack of wisdom to go to a bar with people, with your volunteer team, and everyone just chug beers. That's idiocracy. Well, I'm just trying to hang out with them and have friends. Then you are no longer holding shepherd over for them.
But if it is lack of wisdom, where does wisdom come from? I think I'll stop there.
I think wisdom comes from people who are well ahead of you, who have failed, and who have come through the other side. I just don't think wisdom is going to come from someone in the same season of life as me. I think good advice will come from them. I think like good insight, but not wisdom. Like they can give me wisdom, like they can cheer me on and sharpen me, but I don't think they're going to give me the greatest wisdom. I have 3 guys in my life who at any moment are allowed to ask me anything. Sunday night, I texted my inner circle on my at our campus. I have an inner circle of guys. I said, the 3 of you men have access, or have at any moment you're allowed to ask me anything, and you're allowed to ask me, why'd you make that decision, or what were you thinking, and not in an accusatory standpoint. Like they are allowed to ask, and I have to give them an answer.
How did you choose those?
Those guys.
What are the? Because I think that's valuable.
Yeah.
I think we all need those kind of people. How do you decide who those people are?
Extremely trustworthy. Extremely trustworthy. Number 2, they each hold integrity. Like they have to be people of integrity. Like they care about the Bible. They care about Jesus. Like they're men who read the Word and practice the Word. And lastly, like this one is kind of random, but like they respect their spouses.
That's good.
I can't respect someone who doesn't respect their spouse.
Yep.
It's hard for me to I can't.
Because if they won't respect their spouse, they probably won't ultimately respect you.
They're not going to respect you. And they're not going to give you advice that would help you respect others.
Yeah.
These guys are infatuated with their wives. Yeah. Does that answer that?
Yeah. I would say for me, I like what you said. Wisdom comes from people that are just ahead of you.
Yeah.
More than likely older, they're ahead in their career, in their walk with Jesus, in their family life. Some of those people who do that for me, I've gotten whether it's a phone call or a car ride, like you are one of those people for me. I share hard things with you.
Mm-hmm.
You also have asked me hard questions or just have called me out, things that you've seen, and I'm grateful for that. And those moments are hard, but we need those people. And I don't know, those conversations always start with hey, I love you.
Yep.
I prayed first. I thought about whether or not I would say this or ask this question or call this thing out. And actually another person that for me is actually John. John asks me hard questions, and I go to John with most of the hard things, if not all of the hard things that I end up facing. Whether it's personal or work related.
Really
there's
good.
a sense of safety that I feel with John. I trust his walk with Jesus. I respect his leadership, his family life. He's on our board. Like he's a safe place. Like one of the challenges I feel like for us here in ministry is, like at the end of the day, we have to still be most people's pastors and protect their perception of the church. The church is incredibly messy sometimes. But John brings this grace and insight where he gets that because he's been in ministry. He's literally been in our shoes. He's on our board, so he gets it.
I think the you don't have to be in ministry to relate to this statement. Coldplay, or they're calling it Coldplay Gate, is a stark reminder that cameras are everywhere. I don't think you have to be a pastor to realize everyone is watching you at all times. You could be a homemaker, you could be a CEO, you could be a button pusher, you could be a leadership coach. Everyone's eyes are always on you.
I'm reminded my mom, growing up, like, my parents didn't drink alcohol. And I remember at some point asking the question of my mom. My mom was in children's ministry as a volunteer her entire life. And then eventually as a 6-some-year-old became a pastor, as a grandma of kids. But one of the things she said, like, I would never walk in a liquor store because every time I would think about it, like, one of my kids would see me walk in there and would that impact their relationship with Jesus? And that was her personal conviction. Yeah. But it was the ideas like, you just never know when someone's watching you. And like what you're doing, would you be proud of? And you would not hide because there are people, there are cameras capturing you, whether it gets publicized or not. Everywhere we go, there are cameras capturing.
Cameras, there's eyes.
Yeah.
I told you the story about Vinny's 21st birthday.
Yes, you did.
That there's no need. There's not really a story to be told, but that's it. Literally a prime example of there are eyes and cameras everywhere, whether it's harmless or.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now, this is super awkward that I brought this up and there's no context, so I feel like I have to say something. My sister turned 21, and she really wanted to go to the grocery store to buy something a 21-year-old could buy. So as a responsible big brother, I said, who better for you to go with than me? So I take her, and guess who's working the counter? Someone in the church. And I was just stressed out. That's the context.
Yeah.
Didn't someone from the church, like you were like, where were you? Was it Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan? Where were you? You were like far from here. What airport were you at? And someone from the church ran into you.
Literally every time I go on vacation or
It's like
travel
a
somewhere
6-hour
far.
flight, though.
Yeah, it was in Mazatlan.
Mazatlan.
There's a family in the church on my plane.
Yep.
And I didn't realize until we got to Mazatlan. So they flew from Seattle to LA and then LA to Mazatlan. I didn't find out until we were like headed towards security in a very vulnerable moment. Me and a ton of people, a ton of friends and family, and ran into this family. I was just on another flight this week, and the Buell family had been in Fort Lauderdale. We were on the same flight as well.
I was on a flight back from Dallas, and Off-Road Worship Team Honey was on my flight. Turned around, like, what are you doing here? Oh my God, John! Oh.
You know what's so funny is when I talk to people who don't follow Jesus, or actually Christians too, and you tell them about like a church, it's like the first thing they always ask me is, isn't that the leader who so-and-so or did so-and-so?
That's,
is
it follows
so-and-so. Oh, it follows you. And they never ask like, oh, is that the church that gave millions of dollars to a local nonprofit?
Yep.
Is that the church that takes care of homeless people or widows and orphans?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, is that the church where the
Is that the church where the pastor did this?
Cusses or drives a motorcycle on stage?
I think.
That's
Time out.
disgusting.
You're the one that says that's the pastor that drives a motorcycle on the stage.
People see that. People
do
see
see
that. We're not like, okay, like I'm not trying to rabbit trail us, but like, bro, we're the local church. We're here to worship God, not drive Harley Davidsons on a stage and honor 4th of July.
He drove it onto the stage and then said, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord." So he gave glory to God.
Yeah, good. Yeah. As long as you give glory to God, John, you can do
anything.
Yeah. Not.
Praise God. Just say that.
I'm just, I think eyes are on us. Eyes are on people everywhere. And there's just the reality that we have to live above reproach in these things.
That's really hard. Living above reproach in every
tough.
second. I think that there are things hard to do a good job, which is where I'm going with this is I want to emphasize that you can't do it alone. And it's more than just a thought that you have, but it's the accountability around you. It's the culture of the organization or whatever you're a part of. You have to have people that you trust and people that love you. And I don't know, yes, the enemy wants us to think that it's challenging probably to make us avoid it, but you have to work hard and work
it doesn't just happen
to seek that. You don't just end up with those people in your lives. I work here at Venture, and I've had to I've given Brandon and Di an invitation to speak into my life because it's pretty serious and pretty real to ask someone those hard questions. But you can't expect that someone's going to do that for you. You've got to open up and welcome it.
No, I'm not going to share that. No, it's just wisdom would say, shut up.
I kind of want you to share it.
No, I'm not going to, but I'll share this. I think oftentimes we're waiting for those friendships to come into our life. We're waiting for those relationships to come in where someone cares, someone asks. Like, why do people love therapy for a reason? You are paying a professional to listen to you and talk about you.
Yeah.
For 45 minutes to an hour. Like you who wouldn't love that? You get to talk about you. And I think there's like this childlike, we want someone to ask us these questions because we want to know someone cares. It's not that they're asking because of accountability. I just want to know they care about me.
Right.
I think that's what most people want.
I
mean, that's what I want sometimes.
I think it goes both ways. I think people want to feel and have a sense that you care. I've also, within the last couple of months, have had somebody on our worship team come to me and bring something to me that I've been present, hanging out with people on team, attending a worship night, standing there like just hoping that someone would come up to me and ask me a question, or ask me a hard question, or hoping that a pastor would come to me and ask me this question. I was like, I'm sorry that I haven't asked you yet. I'm sorry that so sometimes we also just have to ask the question because I think that there's a desire for people to live in the light of Jesus, for things to come out into the light. You just might be the person that God uses for that.
It's twofold, though. I think
agree.
it's twofold on that. I agree. I think sometimes we leaders need the boldness to walk across the room and ask a really difficult question. Not even difficult, just to ask.
Yeah.
Like that alone is like,
I think we make it difficult in our minds.
We do.
Yeah.
It's
we
tough.
totally overthink it.
It's tough. But
you got to also be
ways.
willing to be like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what the struggle is. This is
100%.
You know what? If it was easy, everybody would do it. And we would be talking about this.
True.
The fact is, it is difficult, and it's because there's a struggle. And I'm reminded of Brandon's message on Sunday. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. It's a spiritual battle for our souls, and if it wasn't for that, it would be easy. But the fact is, if we don't do some of these things and put these guardrails and parameters and accountability and have these relationships, it will end in like some of these stories that we see that are publicized, and that's exactly what the enemy wants. And so it's not easy, but it is the most important thing that we can do.
One of my favorite things Ariel's ever said to me, she said, I forgot where we were or even what the context was, but she said, Tony, everyone is my teacher.
oh,
So what do you mean? She goes, everyone is my teacher.
that's amazing.
Your flight attendant is your teacher. The gal or the guy scanning your groceries is your teacher. Your pastor, your boss, above you, below you, side by side, everyone is teaching you something at some point. And I think we just have to be willing to learn and assess. And I think if we lose teachability, and man, it's a pride thing. We keep coming back to pride. I feel like it's pride and lack of wisdom. Those two things. Maybe that's before we put a period on today. If you lack pride and you lack wisdom, you are destined to I'm not speaking this over you, but you're destined to crash. You have set yourself up to crash. I don't know. Is that too harsh, John?
No.
You're the voice of reason.
The most wise thing you can do is live in humility. So I think they go together. It's like, think
Never heard that. Good.
wisdom is living in humility.
That's good. That's really good.
It's almost like this circle. Like if you're humble, that's the wisest thing you do, which and the only way that you gain wisdom, you don't gain wisdom from being prideful. You gain wisdom from responding in humility.
That's really good.
Boys, this was good.
Good one.
Any final thoughts? This was good. I like it.
So I do. Not
Yeah.
a final thought, but question. What's the takeaway? What you're out there and you're listening, and how do we make sure that we're not that person? I think we've talked about a few of those, but what's next step? Talk about every Sunday. Next steps.
What's next?
Next.
Oh.
I think it starts with self-inventory. Am I
It's good.
what are my sources of wisdom? And am I blocking that wisdom with pride? So am I walking in humility? And what are my wisdom sources? If I don't have those, open up the Word of God. I feel like, was it Pastor Brennan's message in Idaho where he was like talking about how like asking people the question like, well, when was the last time you read your Bible? And how people like were fazed by that response.
Yeah.
Was that in Idaho?
I think it might have been the week before here?
Here?
Potentially. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought that was, that's gold. Like, A, are you spending time with the Lord? B, what are your wisdom sources? And if those are actually there, well, C, am I blocking that out with pride? Am I actually open? Am I being vulnerable? And then just the reminder, it goes both ways. Sometimes you need to be willing to ask a hard question, but sometimes you just need to be willing to open up and say something that might be uncomfortable or hard. And it's probably going to be met by grace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always going to be easier when you bring something up, as opposed to when it's exposed and blows up.
Yeah. Good.
Someone wise once told me, and then they told me, and then I always shared this when I was the intern director. I always used to tell the interns, you will always be as sick as your secret.
Mm.
You will always be as sick as your secret. As long as you're keeping something, you're sick. And you can't be healthy until you reveal it. And I'll be really honest. I think there's things I do that I don't realize I'm doing them because I've done them for so long that I'm sick. Like, okay, prime example. I'm addicted to my phone.
We all are.
We all are. But like that's okay. Like, but it's socially acceptable. But it's sick because we lack attention. We lack connectivity. Like, we don't know how to connect with people anymore. We don't know how to be bored anymore. We're lacking creativity because we have to like grab our phone or do whatever. It's like that for me, I consider that part of my life sick. Right now, I'm reading a book on how to break up with it, essentially, and rebuild that relationship with my phone so I can have it work for me and me not submit to it. Like in all honesty, it's as a follower of Jesus, I think there are moments I have skipped out on obedience because I was glued to my phone.
How many times is God trying to speak to you and you too busy?
I'm unavailable, God.
How do I
I'm
give
on
him?
my
How do I
phone.
give him the time if I'm?
Yeah.
How do I give him the time?
Yeah.
It's for you.
The name of the book, Kellen just asked. It's on Spotify.
It'll be in our show notes.
Unplug. How to Break Up with Your Phone and Reclaim Your Life by Richard Simon.
I'll give Kellen a little shout out. Kellen doesn't do social media. He's on his phone less
You
than
really not?
anybody I know. Pretty much, from what I've seen, what I can see. Think so? Oh. Well, then never mind. I take it back. I don't admire you for that. What is you guys' your average screen time?
I don't even look.
Have you
3
looked?
hours, 45 minutes.
That's really good. Mine used to be like 7 hours.
Yeah.
I'm under 5 hours right now.
All social media is on my iPad or my browser, but
Okay.
not on my phone. So when you send me reels, I watch them on my iPad at home.
5 weeks later.
I know it takes forever. How about you, John?
John doesn't look.
I don't look.
Oh,
You want me to look for you?
No.
You want me to keep you accountable, John?
Nope.
John doesn't want accountability.
I think that's one of the takeaways. We have to be I think you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Like, do I do a lot of white lies, like small lies? You're lying.
Yeah.
Am I prideful? Do I steal? Like, am I?
Here's what you do. You ask your spouse
Ooh.
or your friend or your, the person closest to you. Ask them.
Yeah.
They'll probably be honest.
Well, yeah.
The other day, Jensen McGowan,
Shout out, Jensen.
Jensen, our
UCJ.
worship director at Seattle, called me out. He goes, Pastor, you ever notice how you always say, anytime you talk about a story or you talk about like someone describing something, you go, they thought that was the best they've ever had or the best they've ever seen. He goes, like, you say the word the best all the time. Are you exaggerating? He like flat just out of nowhere. And I was like, huh.
Those questions suck. They're also great
He
questions.
wasn't wrong.
Yeah. Very true.
It was good.
Someone said, I used to say et cetera a lot. They're like, when you say et cetera, you're telling me you don't care about what you're talking about.
Et cetera, by the way.
Well, English is my second language, John. Is it actually?
Key
Et cetera.
takeaways.
Et cetera?
Be honest, be humble, have key voices, get wisdom. I think these are simple things that if we all did them, we wouldn't be doing this podcast today.
Right.
We wouldn't need
If it's
to.
easy, we'd all do it.
We'd all do it.
Come on.
This was good. PB will be back next week
Speaking of PB,
from Montana.
I miss him so much. Dude. Saw something this week. You guys see how we have a new president of Northwest University?
Did see that.
I saw that last night.
Yeah.
I saw in the comment section of the post that he followed PB, so PB followed him. They're buddies now.
What are we, 13-year-old girls? We follow each other on Instagram?
I think the president said, what did he say? We be dealing? What does that mean? Is that what was said? I don't know. It was entertaining.
I think it was something about let's go.
Let's go. And then Jeremy said,
Follow me?
I'll go with you. Or can I come with you? And Pastor Brandon said, you can if you follow me.
Oh, my gosh.
Or something like that. And they, follow for a follow.
This
Now
podcast was going so well.
we want to just congratulate Jeremy Johnson.
Shout out Jeremy. I don't know
Come
the man,
on.
but I've heard great things.
He spoke at our men's conference a couple years ago. Dr. Jeremy Johnson.
I
9 years ago.
don't do anything where there's multiple men sleeping in the same room snoring at the same time. I just refuse.
You want to talk about brisket? But if you go to our men's retreat,
Tell me about your
sponsored by
smoker.
Venture, there's actual good discipleship that happens.
Morgan leads both.
We
He
need
helps
to- we need to
coordinate the
wrap
men's
up.
conference. He also oversees the men's retreat.
Go to the men's retreat, though. I would
Okay.
say that one over that one. Hey, this was good. Thank you, John, for being here.
Thanks. Good to be here.
David, thanks for, I know you're leading worship at the summer camp.
I got to get back to camp.
Thank you for being here, bro.
Come on, dude.
Jude and Kellen, as always. Don't forget, like and subscribe to the podcast and on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. If you have any feedback, you can email podcast@ourventure.church. We'd love to hear your voice. We'd love to hear what's going on. And if you're overly critical, I'm just not going to read it. I'll be honest. I don't care. Is that kind?
So basically, email you if they have good thing to say.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you're going to be critical, then I don't. Whatever. I'm not going to. I don't care. Is that harsh?
Who should they send their critical feedback to?
I'm also like on 4 hours of sleep, so I sound pretty.
Aren't we supposed to have them send it to Morgan?
Yeah, send it to Morgan.b. He'll read it.
Morgan.b at ourventure.church.
Adventure.church. There it is. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Pastors Unfiltered. Don't forget.
Jesus is the hope of the
World.
nice.
It's not the church. It's Jesus. People argue
The church
is the hope
is
of the
the
world.
vehicle.
It's not the hope of the world. Church is meant to glorify Christ.
Jesus is the hope.
Of
Raiders roll.
We're